Hi guys, it's Chris at Cork and Crown. I'm back at my cider desk with some more cider to try. And I haven't tried any for quite a while. It's been like 2 weeks. I've got loads of films backed up. Haven't posted anything for ages. Anyway, the date today, what is the date today? It's Friday the 12th of July. So you may well be watching this in December with the rate I'm going. Anyway, what have I got? I've got my 5th bottle from Smith Hayne. Smith Hayne in Somerset. Anna and Will, I've been enjoying them very much. This is their 2022. When I received this, it hadn't been released yet. And it's cool because look, it's got everything written on the back in pen. I love things written in pen on the back. It's brilliant. This is just off dry, so you can see here, dry, and there's a little tick to tell me that it's dry, just off dry anyway. 6% ABV. This is their Methode Ancestrale 2022. As said previously, it's a pet nat, basically. I said Methode Ancestrale, can't talk. But there's different producers seem to have different idea of what that means. Some people say it's just pet nat, so you literally just let it ferment to a certain degree. They just put it in the bottle, leave it, and that's it. And other people do a thing where they riddle it. So you gradually turn it upside down, so all the yeast ends up in the neck, and you get the yeast out. Yeah, and then you top it up, seal it up, and then that should stop fermentation because you've taken out all the yeast and so forth. A la volée, they'll actually do it, but they won't freeze the neck. It's a very messy job. And I've heard people describe that as being the ancestral method, if you like. Some people think it includes it. Some people just think it's like cold racking, if you like, or whatever. But yeah, anyway, different ideas of what it means. So I'm not sure exactly what defines Methode Ancestrale. But yeah. Comments if you please. I had one comment already, only because I actually talked a load of rubbish about something. Yeah, but that's not the first time. So let's open this up. How fizzy are you? How fizzy are you? Oop. Well, it's a bit fizzy. Smoking gun. There is the smoking gun. Look at that. That's great. You can see some bubbles coming up there. Very nice. Before I pour it out, I will read you what's in it. Harry Masters jersey, 32%. Bittersweet. Porter's Perfection, 17%. Bittersweet. Michelin, 10% bittersweet. Dabonet, 10% bittersweet. Browns, sharp, 8%. Tremlets, bittersweet, 10%. Is that Yarlington Mill? I'm going to say, yeah, Y Mill. Yarlington Mill, 5%. Can't read that. Stembridge, I think it says. I don't know what that one is. Brown Snout, bittersweet, full barrel, 1%. So Brown Stout 2%, full barrel 1%. And I forgot what Brown Stout's bittersweet, but I can't remember what full barrel is. I think that's bittersweet as well, but could be wrong. But yeah, I'll put it on the screen somewhere around here so you can see it. Let's pour it out. Less talking, more drinking. That's what we like. There you go, lovely fine bubbles, nice mousse, great colour. Let's pull some paper out of the printer. Making a makeshift thingamajig for me to hold up. There you go. Gorgeous amber, lovely amber, slight haze to it, fine bubbles, beautiful looking thing. We like. Crash bang. Oh, someone's come in the room.
Sorry.
Let's carry on. Wife just came in to get something. It's her house. She can do what she wants. Let's smell it. Oh, nice. Okay. So, I know you can't smell sweet and you can't smell dry, but if you had to make me guess if it was going to be sweet or dry, I'd say it was going to be dry based on the nose. Super rich. Smells like it's going to have tannin. It's got a great aged apple character. Ethylene, I think, is the gas. Ethylene? I think I'm right in saying that's the gas that's produced when fruit like apples and pears break down. So I assume that's what that aged apple smell is. I assume it's partly to do with the ethylene that's produced. If that's the case, then this smells greatly of ethylene, I want to say. But also got stone fruit character as well, though. Hints of funkiness, really subtle hints of funkiness about it. Yeah, smells good. It smells great. It smells like a proper cider. It smells like a proper bitter, sweet, full-on cider, which it primarily is. Yeah. I feel like this is going to have some tannins, but it's got some proper tannic apples in there. Tramelin's bitter for starters as well. Let's try it. Yeah. Okay. I was bang on the money. It's exactly what I imagined it was going to be like having smelt it. I mean, it's off dry, but it's so close to dry that if you like dry cider, you'll have no problem drinking this whatsoever. There's the merest suggestion of some sweetness. I think it seems less sweet because of the tannin. Because of the tannin, I mean, it's still quite young at 2020. Those tannins will probably soften over time. It's still quite forthright. I've got a 2015 Tramelin's Bitter from Ross and Y on the online shop. And that's still pretty beefy, and that's 9 years. 9 years old, that. The tannins are still quite pronounced. And this has got some, like I said, tannic apples in it. So you get that tannic character. So not just the astringency, also the leatheriness, which is perceived almost like a slight bitterness from the tannin, the hard tannin. So that might be making it seem even less sweet than it actually is. Great bubbles. Yeah, this is beefy. It's leathery. It has that aged apple character as well. I feel like there's a hint of kind of like slightly, very sort of like honeyed character to it. Really subtle though. That's how I'm perceiving like the sweetness, if you like, almost like a honeyed character. And there is almost like a nectarine element in there as well, subtly. It's quite low acid. There is some acidity, but it's very low. For me, what I'm really getting most is the tannin. It's a solid cider. It's a good cider. It's a proper cider. For people who are familiar with tannic ciders, I think this is a food-friendly cider. I think the tannin probably needs some fats. That's what I think. And the leatheriness. I'm going to do what I always do. I mean, you could have it. It would be amazing with like roast pork or something like that. Some of that sort of fatty character. But you could have it with cheese, you know. And I'm going to say like, I mean, cheddar and stuff, totally you could do. But I think because of the tannin, because of that slight bitter tannin character, something sweeter, like a Gruyere style, something like that. That's what you want. Something like Letiva, something like a pineapple character from Swiss mountains. That's something like that, Gruyere style, Comté, Beaufort, whatever you like. But something in that family I think would work really well with it. Probably with a wash rind as well. Like a stinky wash rind, like a Poisse, that kind of thing. Maybe it hasn't got quite the sugar for the salt in those sorts of things, but those have got almost like a meaty character to them, like sausage, like almost like sausage meat sort of character to them. Bacon, some smoky bacon, that's the characteristic you get. That might work with this as well. But again, the fat and the tannin, I think, is what would really work well with each other. So, yeah, quite different to the ones we've had so far. Beefier, this one. It's a bigger, beefier, more tannic and drier cider than we've had. So I wasn't expecting it based on what I've had already. Having said that, it's a really solid, interesting cider. And yeah, and you can tell it's made with all of those bitter sweets. You really can. How much of the browns? 8% browns, so not a lot of that acid. But what else? There's a couple in there that I wasn't sure about. But pretty much everything else, with the exception of maybe 2, are bitter sweets. And the tannins are demonstrating that. Well, there you go, guys. Thank you for joining me at the cider desk once again. I hope you join me once again. But until that time, cheers.